up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. The devil doesn't have to destroy you to defeat you. He just has to distract you. He doesn't always show up in the obvious ways. Horns, red eyes, flames. No. Sometimes he shows up in the glow of a phone screen, in the endless scroll, in the constant noise that keeps your heart from ever going quiet enough to hear God. Sometimes it's not evil that pulls you away from your calling. It's the almost good. The harmless habits, the small compromises, the busy schedule, the voices that sound wise but aren't rooted in truth. And the dangerous thing is, distraction feels normal, it feels harmless, but every second your focus drifts, the enemy smiles. Because he doesn't have to turn you into a sinner, he just has to keep you from being effective. You see, when God created you, he placed something divine inside of you. A calling, a purpose, a voice that carries the weight of heaven's design. You weren't born to drift through this life. You were born to build something eternal. But the devil knows he can't steal what God has placed in you. So he settles for keeping you too busy to use it. Just look around your life. How many things compete for your attention right now? Notifications, stress, relationships, anxiety, worry about money, pressure to be seen. The world says you need to do everything, be everywhere, and know everything. And the result is your spirit becomes numb. That's exactly where your enemy wants you. He whispers, "You're tired, you deserve to rest. Just one more scroll, just one more episode, just one more excuse." And before you know it, a day turns into a week, and a week turns into a year, and your purpose, the one thing that would have set souls on fire, sits untouched. This is spiritual warfare disguised as convenience. We forget that the enemy doesn't just fight through temptation, he fights through distraction. He uses your curiosity against you. He uses your phone, your comfort, and your comparison, and studies your patterns. He knows exactly what will make you delay obedience. And delayed obedience is still disobedience. The Bible says in 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8, "Be alert and of a sober mind." Sorry. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, looking for someone to devour. But notice this, he's looking for someone who isn't alert, someone distracted, and someone who is spiritually asleep. So when you stop paying attention, you start losing ground. Let me tell you something. Not every door is open from God. Some are traps with beautiful hinges. The enemy doesn't tempt you with ugliness, he tempts you with something that almost looks right. He'll make distraction look like opportunity, comfort look like peace, delay look like wisdom, but when you listen long enough, you'll realize it always leads to distance. Distance from your purpose, from your conviction, from your creator. You ever noticed how the devil never attacks people doing nothing for God? He doesn't waste energy on the ones already distracted. But the moment you start to focus, to pray, to move in obedience, distractions multiply. And suddenly your phone rings, your mind wanders, your emotions flare. It's not random, it's resistance. Because focus is holy. And the moment you decide to live intentionally for God, hell notices. So let me tell you, the enemy will fill your calendar so your soul stays empty. They'll flood your life with noise so you never notice the silence of God's whisper. Remember Elijah? God wasn't in the wind. He wasn't in the earthquake. He wasn't in the fire. He was in the gentle whisper. If you never slow down, you'll miss the voice that matters the most. The devil's goal is not to make you evil, it's to make you ineffective. He doesn't need to make you stop believing in God. He just needs to make you too distracted to live like you do. And he's good at it. He'll convince you that busyness equals purpose, that noise equals progress, and that hustle equals meaning. But what if the thing keeping you from peace isn't what's missing in your life? It's what's crowded into it. What if the biggest battle you're fighting isn't against demons, but against distractions? Look at Jesus. When he walked the earth, he had crowds pressing in, people shouting his name, and he was needed everywhere. But he withdrew to lonely places to pray. Luke chapter 5, verse 16. Even the Son of God had to protect his focus. He understood that power comes from presence and from being with the Father. You can't pour out what you don't refill. The devil knows that, so he'll do anything to keep you from that secret place, that quiet room, that early morning prayer, that open Bible. Because he knows if you ever truly connect with God, if you ever clear the noise long enough to hear his direction, he's lost his grip on you. So think about how many times you said, I'll pray later, I'll read later, I'll get serious later. Later is the language of distraction. The devil loves later, because later never comes. He doesn't steal your calling, he steals your time. And if he can waste your time, he's already won half the battle. So here's the question you need to ask yourself. What's been quietly stealing your attention from God? It might not even be something simple, it might just be subtle. The devil works in subtleness. He's not trying to scare you, he's trying to slowly sedate you. Social media, comfort, worry, approval, comparison, small things that chip away at your focus until your fire becomes flickering. But you can't serve two masters. Matthew chapter 6, verse 24. You can't chase the world and walk with God. You can't build your purpose and your distraction at the same time. Some of you are exhausted not because you're doing too much, but because you're doing too much that doesn't matter. You're giving your best energy to things that feed your flesh but starve your spirit. That's how the devil wins modern wars, not by force, but by focus. He doesn't need to destroy your faith if he can drown it in endless noise. You're not supposed to live addicted to distraction. You were built for divine direction. And if you want to step into your purpose, you have to make war against what steals your attention. You have to be ruthless about protecting your focus, because your focus determines your fruit. So you want to know why some people stay stagnant? Because they keep feeding their distractions and starving their devotion. They pray for clarity, but they never quiet the chaos. God isn't hiding his will, we're just too busy to notice it. It's time to take your attention back. It's time to wake up from spiritual autopilot to say, that's enough. Enough wasting time on temporary things. Enough letting the devil design your day through distraction. Enough living reactive instead of intentional. Because your attention is sacred, focus is holy, and your time is divine currency that you cannot get back. So every minute you waste on distraction is a minute you could have been building the kingdom. This isn't about perfection, it's about awareness. The devil doesn't fear a perfect Christian. He fears an aware one who sees through the tricks, one who says no more. So when you start recognizing the pattern, you start breaking the power. When you see how the enemy fills your life with noise, you begin to understand why you feel distant from God, even though you believe it. He doesn't attack your belief, he attacks your bandwidth. So what do? You realign. You retreat to prayer, and you simplify, and you silence the things that don't feed your soul. You learn to guard your heart, because from it flows the springs of life. Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23. Every day you wake up, you're in a war for your attention. It's not a small war, it's spiritual and eternal. Because what gets your attention gets your worship. And that's all the devil ever wanted, was your worship. Even if it's not kneeling before him, he's satisfied if you're too distracted to kneel before God himself. God never gives up on distracted people though. Peter lost focus walking on water, but Jesus still reached out his hand. Martha was distracted by many things, but Jesus gently reminded her that only one thing is needed. David lost focus and fell into sin, but God still called him a man after his own heart. So grace doesn't abandon the distracted, it calls them back. And maybe that's why you're hearing this right now, because God's been trying to get your attention. You've been chasing everything but him, and he's saying, come home. I have more for you than this. The devil's going to keep shouting, but God still whispers. Because he knows those who love him will listen. So here's the challenge for you. Cut the noise out. Whatever pulls you from your purpose, release it. Whatever feeds your distraction, start it. Start small, silence your phone for a while, turn the music off and sit in quiet. Read one verse and let it speak instead of rushing through a chapter. And watch how your peace returns. You'll really start to notice God in the simple things again. In the sunrise, in the stillness, in the moments the devil used to feel with static. That's where purpose lives, not in constant motion, but in consistent surrender. You know you can't find your calling in chaos. Find it in community. So don't let the devil waste another year of your life convincing you to stay distracted. You were made for more. You were made to move heaven's agenda forward. You were made to walk with divine clarity and not spiritual confusion. Remember that heaven has plans for you. The question is, will you have the focus to follow them? Remember, the world will keep shouting, do more, get more, be more. But God is whispering, be still and know that I am God. Psalm chapter 46, verse 10. Because when you finally slow down and focus, you'll realize something powerful. The devil's distractions were never as strong as God's direction. You just needed to stop long enough to hear it. Make sure if you guys enjoyed this video, you go down below and hit that like button. Guys, if any of you are feeling shameful, lustful, distant from God, and out of place, and stuck, make sure you go down below and hit that subscribe button and hit that bell so you're not missing out on any more content. I make content on all of these things, and I will continue to branch out and make even more content to help the people who struggle with these things and are willing and brave enough to talk about it. I know a lot of people just hide it. I'm here to help you through it. We all go through things, and we all need help. We all need direction. I'm just here to help you seek the direction for the right things. I'm out of here. God bless you all.